Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us here on Variant Roles. I am your host and game master, Dan Gaston.
You're muted. You're muted, Dan.
Uh, I am not.
Oh, they said you were.
No, I was not talking and was unmuting myself. It was like, I'm watching the thing right now. It's all good. Okay. As I said, I am your host and game master, Dan Gaston, at MedSciDM on Twitter. I use he, him pronouns, and we are here to play some Invisible Sun with some very special folks. So I'm going to let them get to it and introduce themselves and their characters, and we'll see where we stand here under the red sun in the actuality. And I'm going to leave our guests for last because they're fantastic. And why don't we go down below me and go to Sam? How are you doing this week?
I'm very tired. I've had a convention the past 2 days and a wedding like an hour ago. And I'm really tired. I may not last through the game, but I'm going to try really, really hard. But anyway, I am Sam. I'm 65th Victor on Twitter, and I play Lucky, the ardent apostate who shepherds minds.
Excellent. All right. Over on our left, Corey, how you doing?
Hello, my name is Corey Hickson. I'm doing good. Today I'm going to be playing, my pronouns are he, they, and today I'm going to be playing Alice. Alice is an ardent maker who turns tales into reality, and her pronouns are she, her. That's me.
Excellent. And to my right, Anna Elizabeth.
Everybody.
Alex.
Basically the same person. Hi, everybody. I'm Alex. I use they or he pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at AxolotlCure. And I'm excited to be back doing Invisible Sun with these fine and wonderful guests.
Excellent. All right, returning from last week, we have Nox, an actual angel. How are you doing, Nox?
I'm hot as hell, but I'm doing good otherwise. I'm Nox. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me on the internet at the Twitter handle right underneath my face. And I play Capella Minkin, empathic apostate who revels in beauty.
Excellent, excellent. And making his long-awaited return to As the Suns Burn, we have Matthew.
That's me. Hi, I'm Matthew Foreman. I use he, him pronouns. I will be playing Nigel, the stoic Vance who the stoic Vance who consorts with demons.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So, where we left off last week was our folks had made a journey from the Red Whisper Inn under the red sun to the location of the sodality of Vryn. On the way, they had some experiences in life. I feel they've grown a little bit. They witnessed a celebration under the red sun, which was full of joyful abandon and possible, orgies and various things like that. And met an angel who was voyeuristically taking in that particular new beauty. And continue on their way, met some weird bug things with laughing human faces that exploded, and eventually ended up outside of the gates of the sodality of Vryn, where Capella had used her powers on both Lucky and Emma Elizabeth. So for the next hour at least, we'll see when the depletion happens, but for the next hour at least, are unusually honest and helpful and kind-hearted people. And just as that happened, they were asked what the hell they were doing outside the gates by the sodality, and I think the sodality is now under the impression that they have things to trade. And the Sodali likes magic, but they also really like souls. And so we'll see how a bunch of honest brokers enjoy that. And when we left off, the door had opened, revealing a appropriately cloaked and hooded figure to greet them. So, we need to start off with a Sooth card, which is going to overlay all of our faces, because I don't have a special Sooth card overlay for this particular one. And appropriately enough, the very first card to start things off is the Devil. So we have started off with the Devil in play. This is the Nemesis, so everyone's ventures are impacted. Secrets is the family, Ravens, Books, and Flame. The Nemesis of Secrets is the Prince of Lies, the Devil. And I think this is utterly appropriate. So, as the door creaks open and the cloaked and hooded figure greets you, travelers, do come in. And he sort of swings the door open and retreats back into the darkness. So what do you all do?
Thank you very much, sir. Come on, friends. He's letting us in.
This sounds excellent.
Emma, after you.
I'm honest and helpful. I'm not stupid. I'm gonna wait until like everyone goes in, and I'm gonna go in with the group.
I'm gonna walk right in looking, please just punch.
Excellent.
I guess I'll go
All
after
right.
Capella then.
Perfect. All right, so you file in, and I want to cut momentarily. Matthew, how did Nigel come to be under the red sun?
Well, I suppose it's a special bit of interest to him, being a demon lover and all. So he probably got curious after he got his arm and wanted to get a closer look at some red and some of the inhabitants. And so he found some way to get there. I don't know how he did it, but he did.
The most straightforward way would be to take a
The
sunship.
giant hole that we made.
Well, if people
Did
know
he
about
happen to
that.
stumble on a giant rift to the red? Because
Well, if he was roaming around in the wasted expanses or the ruined expanses, because and it's still somewhat hidden, but that is a possibility. Someone might have sensed that by now. Probably has a giant tear in reality.
hopefully not
otherwise
the Deathless diminutive.
Yeah. Otherwise, the most straightforward method is to essentially take a cruise, sailing the path of suns.
There it
on
is.
a sunship.
Cruise is right. It's correct.
Yeah.
I've got Demoner installed on my Noosphere app.
Excellent. And so sunships are kind of, imagine taking a like sailing vessel and a whale and mashing them together. That's basically a sunship. It's a creature. It carries people. It's gigantic. It's probably bigger than a blue whale. And it sails the path of suns. I imagine normally the sunships only sail in the correct, right, from like 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, which would mean you, I think, would have to loop all the way around to get to the red, because the red's pretty close to Saturnine. But I'm sure there is like a weird night side specialization that sails it in reverse on the night side path. which might be more appropriate to take to the red for Nigel.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right. So Nigel's been chilling in the red, and somehow you have ended up in hanging out, at least at this moment in time, with the sodality of Vryn, who are Vizsla, like you. They're sorcerers. They got a weird obsession. They share some interests. They really like dead gods and dark gods, and they deal with demons. They like to trade in souls. They're very learned in destructive magic. But their ultimate aim is to somehow dissolute themselves from existence. Not merely destroy themselves, but like entirely erase themselves from existence.
So there's
From the-
like a weird suicide cult.
There is multiple weird cults in the actuality who are obsessed with removing themselves from existence in one way or the other. This is they don't want to kill themselves. They don't want to die, because then you go to the pale. They want to erase themselves from existence. And they don't necessarily want to erase all of existence, which is like a lot of the demons of the dark want the actuality to just be done. They want to erase themselves from existence, and no one knows if that's possible, and they want to do it as all of them. To become nothing. So that's kind of their obsession. So how did Nigel come to be hanging out, or why, with the sodality of Vryn?
So after the events of the gardens, and after some events on Vizsla, Nigel has actually been pretty fixated on the concept of unmaking and what it means to be nothing, because he sent that legacy item to the void. So I think he sought them out because he is fascinated as a scholar. He's fascinated by the idea of being unmade.
Okay. All right. So it's like an academic interest. You want to know what they know and like learn a little bit and that sort of thing.
Yep.
Okay. So you're currently hanging out in what amounts to like the public tower. There's a couple of dozen towers that make up this complex that the sodality of Vryn owns and occupies. You know that some of them are for various purposes. This one, closest to the gates, is the public tower, and this is where they do all of their business with non-members of the sodality, and one of the few places that non-members are allowed into. And so you've been given access to their sort of non-secure library. So where they've got works that are things they've collected, but they're not guarded and they don't mind who else knows this information. So you're in a room, and the library is dark. One of the things you've noticed about this whole tower is there's no source of light. It's utterly dark, but you can see. You're not blinded by the darkness. You can see perfectly fine, but there's no source of light. And this library room, the books are not books at all, but there is glass-fronted cases that line the room, each of which holds a face. And you read them by reading the faces, or if you are particularly skilled at conversing with those faces.
I don't have the gift of a silver tongue. It might come to surprise you. I would probably be pretty good at reading them.
Yeah, so it's one of these things, if you spend time sort of observing them closely, almost meditating on every line and wrinkle, that eventually sort of insights come to you into your head as if you're reading a book. But sort of like the Cliff Notes versions. It's like condensed, it's like bite-sized snippets of detail.
All right. I would be reading whichever face was most handsome.
All right. There is definitely a perfectly handsome face. I mean, it's a face and it's like stretched. So it's not on like a mannequin head or anything. It's sort of been made two-dimensional to be able to better read it. But it looks like it was probably a pretty handsome face at one time.
All right. Well, that's what I'm doing.
All right. So while you're studying that, the rest of you enter a tower, and similarly, it is utterly dark, yet you can see. So, you bring trade.
Emma, I think you said you had something for this man.
Oh yeah, they they asked for traders, and well, we do have a lot of magical accoutrement, so I mean that is what they asked, and I told them.
Well, so what do you offer?
We should probably tell you what we're looking for first. I just don't want to just give you things. No
She's
offense.
right.
Yes. Fair. What is it that you seek from the sodality of Rin?
Alice?
We're here because we need to get a hold of a certain book. I'm checking my notes. I forget what the book was called and I didn't write it down.
The Treachery of Images.
Gonna write that down. We needed to get a hold of a certain book called The Treachery of Images. I don't know if you would be willing to let us access your library once we did this trade of magic.
And as you say the Treachery of Images, his eyes underneath the hood go quite wide. There has been much interest in this particular tome lately. It's not one we're typically willing to let into the hands of just anyone. Dangerous it is.
Oh,
But
we're
perhaps...
not just anyone. I'm Alice.
Alice, dear, I'm not sure that's what he meant. This is a he, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I am Nasfer. Alice. This means nothing to me.
I'm offended. I've been here waving this dagger around and you haven't heard of me?
And do you have the Sin Eater out?
I'll pull it out again.
Okay. It begins to vibrate quite vigorously.
I have this thing that I've been waving around.
And his eyes look at it and he sort of hisses. Well, is that what you seek to trade?
Oh, hell no. No. Emma, I think did you have a potential candidate that we could summon upon to offer some powers? Is that a thing that we could do?
Alice, I'm going to be perfectly honest right now. I'm not entirely sure what you're asking me. Are you asking me to summon a creature? Well, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't really do that. I stop and point at my shadow, and then the demon of the dark that I've summoned as my protection comes out. I've already got one, and until we leave, rather not being protected.
Fair.
And plus, I can't really, they're not fine. I can't just give them away.
Well,
Like,
I
I'm
was
physically unable to do that.
I was just thinking like someone to perform some magical task that they needed to be accomplished. I don't know. Okay, well, it appears that we're going to need to trade something. Nosfer, if you're interested, I could show you your greatest and wildest imaginations, if that interests you.
You do know what we're about here, don't you?
I could show you nothingness.
Mhm.
That is interesting. I think I might like to experience it, although the Treachery of Images is much, much more valuable than that. For barter of the Treachery of Images, we're talking secrets, books in kind that may further our cause.
Books. I'll look back to the group and say, does anyone have any books or secrets?
Also, you'll have to be able to retrieve it from storage.
No, that should be fine.
Do you not have access to your own storage?
Yes, although we have stored it in the Tower of Unknowing. And if you are to prove worthy of the book, you'll have to retrieve it yourself.
You say that as if it's something we should know. Is there anything particularly difficult about this task, or would it just be walking in and grabbing something from the base?
Well, the Tower of Unknowing is where things go to be in the process of unlearned, to become new secrets, to fade away and to be reborn, to be changed. It's the essence of the red. I'm afraid that anything that goes through does not necessarily come through unscathed.
Wait, so you're telling me that we could give you everything that we want to trade for this, and you could give us something back that isn't even what we asked for, only in name?
Oh, we can ensure that it's still intact.
Intact, or what we're looking for?
Well, intact would mean that it has not yet been rewritten. Who knows? If you survive the experience, there may be other things and secrets that you may learn in there.
I like secrets.
You in particular may find it invigorating.
Capella, maybe do you have anything that could help us out in exchange? We could make sure to get you some secrets.
Well, Alice, don't you think it's a little unfair to ask our new guest to pay for this?
No.
Okay.
Well, perhaps if you need to discuss things in terms of what you may have to offer us, we can at least offer you a place that is more comfortable to talk amongst one another.
That sounds nice.
Excellent, this way. And he gestures for you to follow him up a hidden flight of stairs.
All right, we've been walking a long way. I won't say no to a rest.
All right, so he leads you up. Yes, we're very pet friendly here on Variant Rolls. He leads you up and opens a door and leads you on to a rather macabre looking room. It is dark like it was downstairs, and the walls are lined with glass-fronted cases that contained stretched faces. There is a man, back turned to you, one dark, shining arm in place of a regular-looking arm. I think we agreed it ends in, like, claws, right? Nigel?
Tentacles.
Tentacles, yes.
Yeah, like tentacle claws almost, I think.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Claws, yeah.
That's right. And with his back to you, and he just says, we have another outsider here as well. Nigel, perhaps you would be interested in our guests. Please, you four, make use of our library.
I am
Ring the
going
bell when you need me again.
I
I'll
am
be ringing
going
that bill really soon.
I turn around with quite a bit of like energy and enthusiasm. Oh. Hello.
Hi, Nigel. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
How you been doing? That's a nice arm.
Thank you. Got from someone who wanted something from me.
I'm gonna walk right up to fucking Nigel. Mr. Vandenberg, it is good to see you again. And I'm gonna reach out my hand to shake.
When did you see him?
Excuse me?
When did you see him?
I'm gonna reiterate whatever date I actually did go to see Nigel.
It'd be like months ago.
Yeah, I'll tell whatever date that is within the actuality.
I didn't know you guys had met. That's nice.
Yeah, I had the arm made for him.
Oh, that's really kind of you, Emma.
Are you too high or something?
Fortunately, no.
I'm gonna walk forward to Nigel. No, they were just very unhappy and had a lot of anger, and I helped them. And now they're doing much better.
Oh, you helped them?
Yes.
Yeah, they were kind of massive assholes before, so it's probably for the best. Did you help the one with the blonde curls?
No. She helped me.
Really?
Yes, she showed me the history of their beautiful friendship, and that's when I knew that they all really love each other, but they're just so angry.
Yeah, a little different from me.
I can help you too.
I'm not angry.
Okay. Well, I'm very happy to hear that.
This entire time, Nigel is staring at Alice.
I'm not looking at the direction. I'm just like,
Quick question. So virtuous compel makes me more loyal. To whom am I more loyal? Am I more loyal to Capella as a caster?
I think so, yes. I think that's the general intent.
Okay, sure. Then as this is going on, I will lean over to Capella and be like, Alice cut his arm off. I made the new one.
Alice! You didn't show me that at all.
are you talking to me?
Yes? Why did you...
We agreed. There was a deal.
I like to think that Alice's voice gets really weird there. Like, we agreed. Her hair does that like block thing it does sometimes.
Yeah, there was two deals made that day in pretty quick succession. I got tagged to help free a bunch of kids from indemnitude and slavery.
Oh, that's lovely.
I mean, they were kids. It's the right thing to do, yeah?
That was my idea.
Yes, it was. In the process.
Oh.
Yeah, you sure did. In the process, an artifact of the legacy got destroyed. In recompense for all that, Alice came to me and wanted to chop off my arm. But I said that's all well and good, but I need something to replace it, and she should make it. But all she did was cut off my arm and leave me in the gutter.
Oh, dry your tears.
Alice.
Alice!
Alice.
That's your name, yes.
Alice. I'm going to take one step forward towards Alice.
Yep.
All I did was help you free some kids and destroy an artifact of the legacy. Yeah, I made a deal with the void. But did you ever ask yourself what an item of the legacy was doing down there? Right? And right above it were kids who were enslaved. You thought it was some kind of sacred artifact and I had done something profane or something. But it didn't help free them kids, did it? The void freed them kids. The void destroyed the Ash Garden.
Alice is just silent.
Yeah. I just kind of do that with my tentacle arm. So, what y'all doing here in the Sodality? Bunch of asshole wizards focused on nothing.
It was so loud just now. I'm so glad I was muted.
We're here for a book to help deal with some of the fallout of the Ash Gardens because we weren't as careful as we would have liked to have been.
Oh, hang on. Disagree that it wasn't that we weren't careful. It was more that, well,
Bad.
Oh, you mean when the heat came down for doing what we did?
yeah,
Yeah, that's a shame.
it got bad faster than we expected. And so Alice and Emma have been living in the sewer. I kind of took off for a while. Everybody's been laying low. And we made a deal to kind of make all of that go away.
Wow. So what book are you here for? Maybe I can help.
That's so kind of you.
That is so nice.
It's what I do.
I love how nice everyone is to each other in this group.
Nigel, you're a really upstanding guy. I would work with you anytime.
Thank you, Lucky.
Okay,
I'm looking at Capella now.
So virtuous control doesn't make you lie.
I'm not lying.
Okay.
That's the problem. We're all being too truthful right now.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, yeah, I think with Emma and Lucky, especially like the being the asshole-ness is the lying part. And we're actually not that bad.
I'm staring at Capella now and like giving them a very close look. Where are you from?
From how the fuck do you say the place?
Saturnine.
Saturnine.
Oh. What neighborhood?
You can just make something up.
The neighborhood that is behind the library.
Oh, okay.
Where are you from?
Falltown.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah, so Fartown's like a district, and then inside the districts are neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So now canonically, there is now a neighborhood in Fartown called Behind the Library.
Nice. Yeah, I live in Autumn Run Towers. You know.
oh, I love that place.
Yeah, I live in a painting.
Oh, that's lovely. What does it look like?
It's an idyllic pastoral cabin.
That is so beautiful. I would love to see it sometime.
Come by.
It is
Okay.
a very nice painting.
And like exchange business cards or something.
There's something about you. I can't quite place my finger on it.
I'm right here.
All right. So what book is it that you were looking for?
It's the
I guess
Treachery
I'll-
of Images.
Sorry?
The Treachery of Images. You've probably never heard of it.
I wouldn't be too sure.
I would.
All right. Have I heard of the Treachery of Images?
Well, let's see. This is probably a good opportunity for our first actual dice roll of the night.
Yeah.
Let's see if you know. I'll say it's not like it is an obscure text, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that knowing much about it is like a level 7.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, but you've got some stuff here that would apply.
I do. I have magical lore, history, and codified magical knowledge.
Yeah, so let's apply magical lore.
Okay.
And so that's starting out with a adventure of 1, and you can spend a bene from your intellect pool.
Yep. And then I just roll.
And then you just roll. So you've got a adventure of 2, so we've brought it down to a 4.
5. All right. Don't fail me now. I swear I'm really smart. Yeah. 7.
All right. So you know that the Treachery of Images is a book on the Grey. So it is a magical treatise about the nature of the Grey. It's part history textbook, part philosophy, part magic. It's got some spells in it to do with the Grey. It's got some secrets related to the Grey. And it has a like some history about the history of the Grey. One of the things you know, it is the preeminent text that people have used to infer that in the past, the Grey was quite different than it is now. It's always been a place of lies and illusion, but the form it has taken on with all the Vizsla that escaped there to escape the war is not how it was in the past. And it's almost as if the Grey is getting stronger.
I drop all of that knowledge.
Fucking librarian mic drop.
I just cross my arms like this.
Oh, good. Do you want a reward for that?
No, I don't do things for rewards. I'm not a psychopath.
Well, maybe I am.
There is no doubt about that, love.
Well, let's go find this book.
I think we have to trade for the book first.
Yes, we do.
Are you having trouble looking at me, Alice? You haven't made eye contact the whole time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's no big deal, and I hold out my massive Vanta black arm with spines and tentacles. I thought you liked crafting.
Crafting that's deserved, perhaps.
What's more deserving than this?
I can think of at least one thing.
Excuse me, Alice, I worked very hard to get that made.
You had your chance to be part of my body. You passed it up.
Yeah, I did.
So
I think until we make any further deals, everything is neutral and everything's good. Wouldn't you agree?
no, I wouldn't.
I guess you'll just have to come and take what you need then, if you don't agree.
I would never do something like that. I'm not like you.
I'm okay with that.
Well, I don't have anything to help you all trade for your book, so good luck getting it. It's a preeminent text of the Grey, you know?
So now, Emma, Elizabeth, and Alice, you both have like a stack of books that had like secrets and spells and various things that you found in that temple library.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
And I have other things to get while I'm here.
I didn't realize that we had those, but I would totally give those up if that's something that we would have brought with us.
Yeah, those all came in book form, and neither of you have spent acumen to like learn from them, but it wouldn't have destroyed them anyway.
Right.
They still would have existed.
Okay.
But if you trade them away at this point, you won't be able to learn from them.
Oh yeah. I would give however much is the cost away for that.
Okay.
Nosfer, we actually found some books. Us Vizsla, we always have books on us. Here's a couple. Are these of interest, if you wouldn't mind? It's more than one book, so I'm thinking we could have a nice exchange rate between where this would let us go get the one book in particular.
And he starts flipping through them. Do you have the list there?
I do not know.
I don't think I wrote it down either.
Classic player versus GM relationship. Do you have that thing I gave you? No.
Yeah. the long list of things that's in a notebook that is not in the office with me. Which means that he basically looks it over and says that he will take all of it to give you access to the tower. And what you find are secrets for you to learn and keep.
I'll give over my stash. Oh, do we not want to?
I'm just going to ask you to hold on to that for just a second.
Okay.
I'm also, as an individual, looking for something. I'm attempting to contact the I forgot what it was called.
The Kaleidoscope Void.
The Omnipresent Eye. That's the particular being I'm trying to contact. I'm trying to contact something outside of the Path of Suns. In the Kaleidoscope Void, the Omnipresent Eye, I was told that there was a method of doing that here. That wouldn't happen to be one of the secrets that could be learned in this expedition to your Tower of Unknowing, rather. Would it be?
Yes, indeed. That is an excellent place to learn that particular ritual.
Oh, then. I gesture at Alice and her stack of books. By all means.
All right, here's some books. There you
go. May I ask you all a question?
Of course.
Can I come with you?
Of course.
Oh, good. That's easy.
Oh, please. I love meeting new people.
I'm not so sure you're gonna be able to understand the text. I'm a little worried for y'all. No offense.
Oh, well, I do appreciate your help.
I'm here to help.
How has the arm been, by the way?
I beat someone to death with it.
Oh,
I'm joking.
okay.
It sounds like it's
my
really
next
working
question
out,
was
but
going to be whether or not it was effective.
Oh, I haven't gotten into any scuffles. I went on vacation once you made me the arm. Took a break.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
It's Nigel, since you've been in the red too, although I think this was aspected to the dark, but since you've been in the red, and it's a place of change, it's bonded far more firmly to you. There's still that ever-present pain as the tiny mouths on the inside of the socket are constantly digging their way into your flesh.
Yes. You got me, Daddy.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, this was aspected to the red. I'm pretty sure that's what I...
Oh, was it the red? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to create it as.
Yeah, okay. So yes, it is. It's doing much better.
Oh, good.
Like I said. Alice, the dagger is still buzzing.
I'm not bringing that thing out around this guy. Nope, not a chance.
All right. So Nosfer basically gives you kind of the standard warning. He doesn't make you sign anything because the Sodali doesn't give a shit about contracts. But he's like, you enter the Tower of Unknowing at your own risk. Many who enter are initiates who we send in after their initial period of training with us. Never leave. Some are consumed utterly. Some, I suspect, their ghosts still haunt this place. Others, perhaps their bodies do. Either way, this is a place of change and energy, and few who come out do so the same as they went in. Let's roll some rolls to see if the effect on Lucky and Emma Elizabeth has depleted.
It does.
All right, you rolled zeros on both of them?
No, but it does.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like check every hour or something.
I think they're letting it go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So it fades away, and Emma Elizabeth and Lucky return to their old self.
What the... Oh. Oh. Jesus Christ.
Are you okay?
Yeah, Capella, let's have a talk. Can you come with me for a moment?
Oh, certainly.
I'm gonna pull Capella off to the side for a minute. To the rest of the group. I'll be right back. Capella, I think I have a vague understanding of how you tried to help before.
Yes.
Look, I understand you have the best of intentions, but the situation is very complicated, and
Do you prefer being angry? You told Lucky you were friends.
Look, Capella, I know you only meant for me to be happy, but I'm not meant to be happy right now. I don't deserve it. So...
Everyone deserves to be happy, Emma.
Oh. No. You don't. Capella, you do not understand. But look, this is a delicate situation, and going forward, I'm not sure that would be the best way to help, is all I'm saying.
Okay. Um, I asked this time, and next time I'll ask, and if you want my help, we'll do something different.
Thank you. Oh, and one more thing. I'm going to take off my Goetic pin, and I'm going to hand it to Capella. Hold on to that. If you ever see someone wearing one of those, and if they own one of those, they will be wearing it, do not tell them your name. I'm not entirely sure what your situation is, but depending on your state of mind at the moment, you could be forced to do some very unpleasant things by someone wearing one of those. So hold on to that. Be cautious around people who use it.
Thank you.
Right, let's go back.
All right. So, Nosfer leaves the tower and leads you to sort of one nearby that rises tall and thin and twisted like a corkscrew sort of into the air. And it forks into almost like a horn, like a pair of horns at the tip. Occasionally bolts of lightning sort of arc between the two tips of the horn, and silhouetted behind it is the lava tornado spinning outside of the gates, lightning crashing around as the chaotic energies sort of are funneled into this tower. And he leads you up to another black iron gate and sort of pulls out a heavy key and unlocks the door and says, "You will have to journey inside on your own. I can't guide you, for this place ever changes. You will find your path, find your way, find what you seek, or not. That is your will at play."
Well, Nosfer, I can. Well, I'll be glad to be free of your drama. I'll go ahead and.
Alice will hold up a high five for that.
All right, and the door just is yawning open into impenetrable blackness.
Yeah, we'll walk right the fuck in.
Yeah. Oh, I would like to be the last one in, though.
Okay. All right, and when the last person crosses the threshold, Nasser sort of starts easing the door closed. And when it cuts off, or when it closes, all light behind you vanishes. Unlike the previous tower, this is pitch black, and unless you have a means to see, you cannot. It is utterly, utterly black. And I believe, is it Emma Elizabeth or Alice that has the summoning stone?
I have an etheric lantern. I don't have a summoning stone.
I've got the summoning stone for Arya.
Yep.
Oh, is this where she wanted to go?
This is where she wanted to go.
Let's summon her.
All right.
I'll pull out the stone. I assume no one can see what I'm doing, so Alice will narrate her story as she so often does, and pull out the stone, and she'll hold it up and just say, "I summon Arya Valora. Your story begins and continues here."
Okay. And the stone sort of crumbles into dust in your hand and like sort of slides out, and as it falls down towards the floor, it keeps spilling out of your hand far more sand and dust than could have been contained in this small pebble practically that you had. As it piles on the floor, it continues piling up and up in a contained sort of humanoid shape. And it sort of then hardens and cracks and flakes off, revealing your sword teacher. Tall, whip-thin scars, and her iridescent bird feathers hair. Ah, well then. You managed to gain access, I see. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I'm so glad that you could make it here. Was the summoning okay?
And she sort of dusts her feathers off and bits of sand rain down. She sort of adjusts her whip sword around her belt. Well, as pleasant as can be expected. I fear she's got a teacup in her hand and she sort of just sits it down somewhere. And this, like, she was sort of briefly illuminated while you could see her, and it's sort of fading back out into the dark as she sets the cup down on the floor. Well, I was drinking tea, but I knew it could come at any time.
Oh, do you mind if I have just a little sip? I'm quite parched.
Well, if you can find the cup where I sat it, then by all means, help yourself.
That's actually a good point. Do you have anything that could light us up and help us out a bit here?
No, I'm afraid I do not. Though I am quite capable of seeing. But I am afraid that my journey and path here will be my own.
Excellent. Okay, thank you so much. And I'll look back to the group. Does anyone have a light source that we could use while we're here? Perhaps some lights from the angelic heavens? Do angels glow in the dark is what I'm asking? Capella, please.
Oh, this is actual in character question. Okay. I was looking at Dan like, and do I? Because that's cool.
You do not.
Fuck.
I have a lantern. I have an electric lantern.
Oh, there we go.
I just look dumb and clueless. Yeah. That's it.
I'll whip that out. However much light that provides.
Okay. So you light the etheric lantern and it starts drawing on the ether that surrounds it, and it emits light. You've used it before, so it's normally pretty bright. Like, it's one of those big handheld lanterns. It's like it struggles physically to push against the dark. So the light is weak and fitful and pretty much just illuminates, like a 10-foot circle, like big enough for you all to be sort of clustered in it pretty tightly. And it has a sickly grayish cast to it.
It's quite the establishment they have us trade things through.
It's not very pretty. I don't particularly care for it.
Neither do I. Well, let's go.
Is anyone thirsty?
I'm going to try and find the tea.
I'm going to take out my can of passion. Whatever.
Yeah.
Passion tea.
Sure,
a passion 40.
Oh God.
A 40 of passion in a brown paper bag.
No, let's not.
It's a tall boy. It's a tall boy.
Oh God. I'm back to my 20s. Fuck. I'm gonna crack it open, take a drink, pass it to Alice.
That's quite nice. I'll pass it to Lucky. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, no, it's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I assume we're passing it around.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, yes, that's it.
It's great. We're just all gonna be really passionate about these books.
Just
In the
lucky you're
dark. In the dark. All right, sure, yeah. I'll have some of that. I'm not giving it to Emma though, but I will offer to Nigel.
There's like only one path that this successfully goes through the PCs.
What's this? What's this then?
It's passion.
Oh, right on. I'll drink it.
You could use a little bit of that.
For legal purposes, the can is like plain white and it just says passion on it. The only label.
Alice, it's a shame that this isn't compassion for you, and I will hand back the drink to Capella.
What does this drink do to us, Dan? Tell us and the audience.
Yeah, so you drink it, and this nice, warm, tingly feeling runs down your throat and hits your belly and spreads throughout your body as it basically it's tinted with emotion leaves, and the emotion in this case is passion. So at least momentarily, especially if you're just having a sip, you just have this overwhelming feeling of passion that runs through you. So do with that what you will.
Let us go forth and write our stories into victory and success, folks.
Sure.
I suppose we have a book to find. That's exciting. And I'm going to march onward.
All of you are so beautiful. And I hook arms with Lucky.
So as you walk, the light is fitful around you. The dark is oppressive and claustrophobic and pressing in. The floor underneath your feet is featureless, almost like polished glass or polished stone. And although every footfall is deadened, sounds are all muffled. But you don't see anything. It's like you're walking through a featureless void. As you initially set off, just kind of wandering through like you would wander through a building, this is a strange space indeed. You see no shelves, no books, no storage of any kind.
So, Alice, I would argue you're the most creative person here. Got any ideas?
Nosfer did suggest that we had to will ourselves to the books. It's possible that we need to engage in our Visley selves and
if we all... Okay, so hypothetically speaking, we try to will ourselves to the book. What if only one of us makes it there and the rest of us are lost in a featureless void?
that would suck.
Yeah.
Would it though?
I want to be lost in a featureless void.
Sounds peaceful.
Our millennial is showing. And I don't really see a way out of here either.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, I haven't thought that far ahead, and I was kind of hoping someone else maybe had.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Is the woman still with us, or did she go look for another book? The sword teacher
Was her. She said her path was her own, but she by the time you lit your lamp, she was not there.
Okay.
Hey, Dan.
Yep.
Question.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at the fourth spell on my list
Yes.
as a possible way to get us to the book. I know, like, you obviously can't tell me if it's going to work or not, but
It's a pretty powerful spell.
oh, I don't have fucking shit though because I use it all on fucking therapy.
You can refresh your pools.
You still have a 1 action recovery, a 10-minute, and a 1 hour.
We can take 10 minutes if we want.
I have an action, so I can just do that, I guess. And then how does that work?
If you're not time pressed, you probably want to use your longer ones.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because the action one you can use if you're in like a round by round type action scene.
Gotcha.
So taking the 10 minutes is probably worth it for sure.
I might be able to help. If we can rest for 10 minutes.
Yep, so you just check that recovery and you refresh a pool of your choice. So in this case, sorcery would go back to 10.
Cool. And then I guess I'm going to use that.
Yeah, so it is a very powerful spell. And it depletes on 0, so it's got a 10% chance of depleting every round, which every round would be in like timed situation, so it's every like 5 or 6 seconds it's probably gonna only last a short period of time, but it is super powerful. And so I think this will definitely help. I think Capella would think this might not necessarily get you right to where you're going, but it is probably the most powerful magical effect that you have at your disposal.
Okay. So I step forward, I say, I think I can help. And I just put my hands together like this, close my eyes. And do I need to, it just happened. I don't need to roll or anything.
That's right. It would depend on what effects it's potentially doing, on whether it needs a roll or not. In this case, it will just work.
Cool.
So why don't you tell them what spell you are casting?
I'm casting Touch of the Demiurge. So as I put my hands together in prayer, the area around us becomes a dull, lifeless place, a pale shadow of itself. And I prevent any magic, spells, long-term workings, minor magic, secrets, forte abilities, ephemera, objects of power, and so on from functioning near me. Yeah.
This is a level 9 spell.
So
Go ahead.
Oh, so my thinking with this is if there's anything hiding the book from us, this will.
Yeah. So
does this do anything to my summoned bodyguard?
That's a good question.
I think so.
I think it probably does. Basically, this is like an anti-magic sphere that comes into existence.
Sure.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, it's also going to dispel my incopable aura. That's been up for like months.
Well, only because you keep casting it, because theoretically it has gone down lots.
Oopsies.
But
yeah, sorry, go ahead, Emma.
I was just wondering because like the demon is the demon itself magical in essence, and then on top of that, is the deal we have magical, or is that just a verbal agreement?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So Touch of the Demiurge goes beyond magic.
Yeah. Well, it says any magic, and so then it's the dash there is then sort of listing possible magic. Everything in this case is magic. Yeah, I mean, a demon is a magical entity. It doesn't banish them or destroy them or anything like that. but I think that it undoes the summoning and the binding.
How's my arm?
Dead and lifeless. I mean, it's still there, but so yes. So basically, Capella finishes casting this spell, and the darkness is replaced by a dreary gray haze all around you. As the darkness melts away and it brightens into this grayness and leaves a featureless gray blank stone room that sort of flashes into existence. All of you, as Vizsla, are immediately reminded of your time in the gray and reflecting upon it where the lies are obvious, as it is if the gray has been brought into existence in this space. Alice, the Sin Eater dagger, immediately stops vibrating in your bag, where it's just been buzzing away, and it stops. Nigel, your arm is still attached, but it just like flops down to your side. It is just a hunk of meat attached where
Ow.
your other arm used to be. It's hanging there. Emma Elizabeth, the chains on your summoned entity, you can feel them snap and sort of dissolve as this demon of the dark sort of looms beside you, and then it just says, oh, what mischief I shall wreak here.
Make sure you reap your mischief at a safe distance away. You're still outnumbered.
Oh, Elizabeth, in this case, don't worry. I'm quite pleased with my summoning. I think perhaps I will voluntarily stick with you for now.
Sure, why not?
Could you describe the demon?
Yeah, can we get some details like
Well, so it stepped out
profile,
of
fashion choice, voice, silhouette?
yeah.
Sorry, just fucking with you. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Emma Elizabeth.
It's my character's forte.
You're the one who summoned it, Emma Elizabeth. So what does this demon of the dark look like?
I imagine it's some sort of like it's humanoid in shape, and it's a demon of the dark, so it is mostly sort of like this sort of reflective blackish blue color, sort of like the carapace of some dark bug, and it is very sort of insectoid. Like all of its face just like appears like completely hollow. Like there are eye holes, there's a hole for the mouth, there's like sort of like that, socket where the nose is, but like shit's all hollow. It's basically the hollow husk of some sort of humanoid figure. It's quite disgusting.
Nigel's turned on.
I had a really horrible joke. I'm not going to say it. All right. I'll type it in chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, put that in Zoom chat.
People, and by the people I mean me, demand to know.
No, it might be too much even for our mature content rating.
Oh no!
Yeah. Anyway, I now I've taken notice of the demon. I'm just gonna kind of casually walk up and like stand next to the demon and like and speak to it in the language of demons.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there. Name's Nigel. Sorry, didn't introduce myself before. You're all in chains and stuff. Didn't want to be rude.
You may call me Orax.
Pleasure to meet you, Orax. You are stunning.
Why, thank you. I do so like to... I find the insects of the actuality breed like vermin, but so useful.
Yeah, they are vermin.
And if there's one thing I like to do, it's spread myself through this place.
I'd love to help with that.
Well, there's always a need for those who would carry our offspring to fruition.
Oh, I don't fancy being a single dad.
Oh, they mature on their, well, once they're brought forth into the world, they're entirely self-sufficient.
I'll think about it.
Please do, darling.
Nigel, put a pin in that idea. I'll have to talk to you about it in a minute.
All right.
All right. So this flashes into existence. Nox, I need Capella. I need you to roll some dice because this is played out over a little bit, so we got to see how long this effect is in. So roll a couple of d10s for me, please. Roll like 3.
Okay. No, man, I lost one. Okay, so it's only if it hits a 0 that we have a problem.
That's right. All I need to know is 0, not 0.
Okay, nope, we're good.
And by 0, I mean on most of your d10s, that's probably a 10, right?
Yeah,
so because it's
yeah.
there's 0 to 9 here as opposed to. Okay. Good. All right. So as you look around, someone who is going to be looking around to see what you see in this space, knowing that you might not have much time.
Alice would
Alice?
definitely be looking
Yep.
around.
Yeah, I think
I'll help Alice 'cause she's my best friend.
Nigel and Emma Elizabeth were a little preoccupied. All right,
I'll
so
help
Alice
Alice, but
is going to help.
I think I still have Capella with me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're arm in arm. All right, so this will be a perception-related task. So, Alice, do you have anything related to, like, observing your environment, searching, that sort of thing?
The closest thing I have is research, so not really, no.
Okay. All right. And Lucky, same question for you. Do you have any skills related to searching or observing your environment?
I don't know. I'm looking. The only two I could think of making relevant, kind of, is sneaking and theft, but that would be a bit of a stretch. So I'm gonna say no, probably
Yeah,
not.
because this is looking around and
Right.
and seeing
Yeah.
stuff as opposed to.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
But can we spend perception betting?
Well, so if Alice is the one searching and you're helping, you helping
Yeah.
is going to give a +1 to
Okay.
Alice's venture. So Alice's venture is going to start at 1, and Alice can spend from her perception pool.
Okay, sure. I'll do one of those.
Okay, and of course, like always, you can spend from sortilege if you want to be rolling extra dice or whatever as well. I'm going to say that in this case, I'm mostly making you roll because this is potentially a rushed situation. You might only have seconds, a minute or less. Otherwise, it would probably be easy to find like a door or something. I'm going to say that the challenge here is like a 4.
Okay, I'll just roll that with my venture of 1. 2,
Okay.
because Lucky's helping, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
right.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, so as you're sort of, what's it like when Alice is looking and searching around this room?
I think Alice comes and links arms with Lucky and joins the train. And then
So Alice, Lucky, and Capella are like skipping around the room searching.
Yep.
Whoa! I'm not skipping. Those two can skip, but they would be dragging me.
Sorry, I
Capella's
inserted
not
it in.
skipping.
Virtuous Compel has worn off.
Yeah, Capella's not a skipper, so.
I still think Nigel and Emma Elizabeth share a look when these three stooges go off.
Yeah, in the middle of your conversation with the
yeah.
demon, you just like side eye over.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what you quickly see is the room is mostly featureless. There is a bunch of like boxes and crates and things stacked around that seem to just have rubbish in them. But there is a kind of door, maybe. There's a door frame inset in one wall, and there is a wooden slab in it, like a door. There's no handle, you don't see any hinges, but there is something there.
Okay, it's a door without any hinges. No, it's a door without any hinges.
It's a door frame, and there's a wooden slab in it. You don't see any hinges or other things, but...
Okay, and Capella's anti-magic field doesn't have any effect on this? Or is it only...
It stops magic from working. So it doesn't
right.
stop any
So what I'm
physical
asking
sort of
is
barriers.
this door is not magic. It's a slab of wood. It's a slab of non-magical wood.
But at least at the moment, because any magic would not be working. That's right.
Okay.
It might have once been a magical door, but the magic is not functioning at the moment.
Okay.
But I'm going to need Capella to roll some more dice here.
Ooh.
Yeah, roll me 3 more. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nox. Let's see if this effect depletes.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yes. Nope.
Okay.
Good.
So you're
Okay.
standing in front of the door. This is like 30 seconds have passed. Conversation finishes.
Okay. How tall is this door in comparison to me?
It's like a regular door, so it's, I guess, the top of the frame is like 7 feet or something.
I'm never going to use this incantation. Okay.
Which one? The one that's like for something about the size of you? It is close enough.
It says it has to be no larger than you.
Volume. It's a thin door. This is
Okay,
this is close
great.
enough. It is a
Then
person-sized door.
Then I'm going to use Belong to a Red Hell, finally. And
All
I'm
right.
going to destroy this wooden door.
So what does this look like? No, wait.
What? What do you mean, no, wait? You just told me I could use it.
You're in the bubble.
You're in an anti-magic
No!
field.
Lucky, I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
I can walk away.
No, it's fine. I thought I had a solution, but I don't.
I unloop arms with Lucky and walk away so he can use his.
But it's in the whole room.
It's just near me.
So when you step aside, it's like a close area. So it's only sort of like a 10-foot circle around.
Okay,
so
great.
actually, as soon as Capella and Lucky and Alice moved
Have walked away, yeah.
Nigel and Emma Elizabeth and the demon found themselves back in a black void. The 3 of you can still see them.
Mm-hmm.
Capella, when you move away, Lucky, and I don't know if Alice goes with Capella, but whoever didn't leave finds themselves in a featureless void again. But Capella can still see them. But Lucky now, you don't see the door. You can't feel the door.
Okay, but Capella can see me.
Capella can see you.
Can you see me?
Wait, can I?
Can you? You can.
You can.
Just answer me in character, because in character, I don't know.
Yes, you're doing great.
Where's the door?
In front of you.
How far?
Right there. You're so close.
If I walk up to it, can I touch it?
So, assuming that Capella sort of directs you, you walk forward and your hands go out.
Okay, so I can feel it. So, okay, all right.
No, you don't.
Then
you don't feel anything.
I don't feel it because of the
not.
magical thing.
That's right.
All right, well, I'm going to try to use it anyway. I can't see it, but assuming Capella assures me that it's there, I'm going to try to do it anyway.
That's actually my hand. Just kidding.
So I would like to reach out and touch where I think the door is.
Yep.
and it will be consumed and rendered into red dust if it works.
All right. So what is the level of the incantation?
Level 6.
Level 6. Okay.
So I will spend that sorcery.
Yep.
Okay.
So you think, as a Vizsla, that you need to do something a little extra because of the fact that you can't see a target.
Okay.
So what else would Lucky do to try and get this spell to affect something that you know should be there, but you have no awareness of?
Do I have to actually use one of my abilities, or can I just make something up?
That's totally... This is Invisible Sun. Creativity is encouraged.
Here's the thing. I have a spell called... I can't read this. Cryptothesia?
Cryptothesia? Yep.
Yeah. And with a wave and a word, I see beyond the wall, door, or other barrier that I touch. For as long as I touch it, as if I stood on the other side. I feel like that could be helpful. But I can't see the words, so I don't know if it would help.
So let's get creative with this.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The wall or door in this case is not the literal thing that you're trying to disintegrate. It's this void effect.
Right.
That you're trying to see through. All right. So let's go for this. All right. So that will cost you 2 sorcery to cast.
Okay. And I have
because you didn't have to spend anything for the incantation.
No, I do. I don't have to spend anything for the incantation, but I do have to. No, see, the spell says +1 die.
Yeah.
So is that sortilege?
No. Okay. So that's just a hint to you that chances are when you use this spell, you're going to have to roll.
Okay.
Anytime you use a magic effect and you need to roll dice, you're always going to be adding dice, right? It's when you're doing some other action that you really need to spend sortilege to overcome it. Now you can still spend sortilege, so you got to spend 2 sorcery.
Yep.
So your venture starts out at 2.
Okay.
This is, unless you have the secret, you can't spend extra sorcery.
No, I don't.
But you'll be rolling 2 dice.
Okay.
And you can spend sortilege to be rolling a 3rd. This is a magical effect, so you're going to need at least 2 successes to overcome it.
Oh, well, heck, okay. I'll spend sortilege to roll a 3rd just in case, because you just don't know.
That's right.
All right. Okay. So that's a 9.
Okay.
This is with my stuff added.
Yeah.
An 11. And another 9.
Okay. So you mentally reach out to strangle this darkness, to grab it as your magic courses through it, and you manage to push through the barrier long enough that you see this slab of wood again in front of you. And then you use the incantation, and the door crumbles into powder in front of you.
Did I get it? I feel like I got it.
I think
because then basically you can't see it, because then you're
right. I have no idea if it works or not.
That's right.
The door is gone. You did so good, Lucky.
Great. Do you want to come back over here so we can see what we're doing?
Nigel and Emma Elizabeth, what are you doing? Because you found yourself back in blackness again, and you don't hear any of their conversation.
I sent you something over Zoom chat. I want to know if that's a good idea or not.
Not I. Are you talking to me or?
Not talking to me. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Then that's what I will do. I will leave Nigel and Orox to do that. And since Orox is no longer something summoned under my power, I will go ahead and summon something from the blue to help me achieve my ends out here.
Okay. What level are you going for this spirit?
I'll say I don't have the extra time to. Well, how much time do I have?
You don't know.
I don't know.
What is time in this place?
I'll go for 5.
Okay. So you're going to use this bribe. Do you want to tell people what bribe you're using for? So you're summoning a spirit of the blue.
I am summoning a spirit of the blue, and I'd rather wait for the bribe until I actually get to discuss with this creature.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So the first bit, the summoning, is you spend the sorcery.
Yes.
A spirit of the blue materializes. You can't see it, but you know it's there.
Yeah.
What is thy bidding?
I'm looking for something, and I hope you'll be able to help me find it. I'm not exactly native, and I'm also not exactly incorporeal, so I'm hoping you will be able to help me here.
I will certainly try.
Oh, that is all I can ask. Well, I know what you are. I hope this will be acceptable payment, and I will toss the spirit of the blue a heart-shaped locket made entirely of silver, within which is a picture of Emma Elizabeth and Henrietta.
All right. So this spirit, as a concept, as a conceptual spirit of the blue, embodying emotion. What emotion is it that it embodies for you?
Loss.
Okay. So this spirit is of the essence of loss, and it's going to accept. So we just need to roll.
Sure. I've got enough to spend 3 interaction on each of the 2 checks, so I will do that.
Perfect.
And I have +1 in persuasion. Does that help in this regard as well?
It absolutely does.
Sure. So I've got a venture of 4 minus whatever, not counting whatever the locket is.
Yep. So just give me the number on the dice.
Sure.
I mean, you're pretty good because it's only a level 5 spirit. So
yeah, exactly. Where is my other d10? There it is. All right. The first one is a 2. The second one is a 4. So that is
Okay.
6 and 9 total. 6 and 8 total, rather.
I accept your token of loss. What service may I render today?
I'm looking for something, and I'm not even entirely sure what form it is taking, which is why, it's why I need you. I'm looking to contact something that exists outside of the path of sun, something called the kaleidoscopic void, inside which exists a being called the omnipresent eye. I was told that such information could be found here, but, well, I don't seem to be the right type to be able to interface with whatever this place is. I was hoping we could assist.
Well, this is a place of change. But where the original is lost, you did well, Visley. Yes, I can help you.
Oh, good. I didn't have much else to ask for.
And the spirit sort of hovers close to you and then superimposes itself on you. To sort of hover over you because it's you've summoned it as an incorporeal being. And as it does so, you can see you've got the lantern anyway, so the darkness is sort of pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
That works now that Capella has left.
Yeah.
So I guess, Nigel and Orax are actually probably in your sphere of light, because that started working again as soon as Capella moved out of range. And so the spirit of loss says that it can help you, but you will need to do some work to focus on what you were searching for.
All right. Could I attempt to do this systematically? I'm not that great at just perceiving, so to speak. I was wondering if I could attempt to discern this as more of an intelligence thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna do like a sort of analytical based search.
Yeah.
Do you have any spells that you're applying, or are you basically just using your skills?
Just using my skills. I only have a couple of spells, and none of them are really good for this.
Okay. I mean, as a Goetic, you've done what you should do, which is
Yeah,
summon something
exactly.
to
Oh
help
yeah,
you.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, this will be a challenging task.
Sure.
You don't know the number in this case, but the spirit's going to give you a pretty big help, because it will be skilled in finding things in this case, because that's what you needed.
Yeah.
So its skill level is going to be 3. So it's
All
going
right.
to give you 3 on your venture.
I'm also gonna sort of like subtly attempt to recruit Nigel. Like, Nigel, come with me if you want to keep the light, and just like go on, start walking.
Yeah, what are you gonna go do?
I'm looking for something, and you're coming too, or you're going to stay here in the dark.
Oh, all right.
All right, so I'll do that, and I'll go ahead and spend 3 from intellect, and I can't apply memorization because I've never been here before. I don't suppose magical lore would help. Actually, I think that would not help. So I'm saying
Probably not. No, not in this case.
So yeah, I'll have my 3 from the spirit. I'll have my 3 from my own intellect. And
Okay, so it's a venture of 6.
Can I help?
can Nigel help?
So you can only really get assistance from one person.
Okay, sure.
Or
Okay.
one thing. In
Oh, the
this
spirit
case.
is helping. Okay.
Yeah.
And so the spirit is helping. Yeah.
But I will only narratively enlist Nigel.
That's right.
I'll
Have I
just
frozen?
watch.
I think I've
Now-
frozen.
Now, Nigel could help you in the sense that one thing a Vizsla can do is spend sortilege on someone else's action.
Sure. Oh, now Alex is frozen.
And now Alex is frozen.
Oh. They're back.
I'm back.
There we go.
All right.
Okay.
I think the last thing I said was I will only narratively enlist
Yeah.
Nigel and make him
Right,
walk
so-
around with me.
So what I said is one thing a Vizsla can do is a Vizsla can spend sortilege on someone else's action, not just theirs. So
I'll do it.
if
I'll
Nigel
do it.
wanted to
All right.
lend some magical oomph
So
here.
add a dice there, Chief.
All right. Can I add a sortilege of my own as well?
You can.
All right, I will do that too.
Flux, 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 flux.
No.
Are we at how many zeros do you need for a grand flux?
3.
3.
We got it. Here we go.
It's theoretically possible. All
Well,
right, so I've
Your
got.
first dice doesn't count, so it's only on the
Yeah.
magic
Oh,
dice.
true.
So
Yeah.
you can only get
so
major
on my
flux.
on my first die I have a 7.
Yeah.
On my second die I have a 4, and on my third die I do have a 0.
Okay, so you've got some minor flux.
Yes. So I think my totals are like 13, 10, and then the 0.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay. So as you're navigating and you sort of have this like almost like heads up display from this spirit helping like guide you through darkness, and you can see like abstracted walls as if you were moving through a maze made of darkness. So it's only that things are a little bit more solid, and you wouldn't have felt them except by the spirits interacting with them. And as your light sort of fitfully illuminates them as you make your way through, and you wend your way through this maze to the center, and floating in the middle is like a crystal tablet that shimmers with all of the lights of the rainbow. Every sun is reflected in this light as it shimmers constantly through this tablet. And as your sort of magical energies lead you here, a shadow of a person materializes in front of the tablet. And it is a person from your life in shadow.
Fuck.
Who is it?
Fuck. All right. So, I think the last one standing was Julia. So in the shadow, there were 5 of us, and we didn't have a lot of resources to go around. And well, we all lived together in a large city. Just kind of did whatever we had to do to survive and get by. And one by one, we lost people. 2 of them died from exposure. This was a city up north, so got cold in the winters, and we didn't really have anywhere to go. One got arrested for stealing food. The last 2 were myself and Julia, and well, I guess there was a third in little Mr. Faust, my scraggly, mangy monster of a white cat. But I did lose Julia. We weren't very far from each other, but I heard the scream, and I heard the screeching of the tires, and I never saw her again. And it was just me and little Mr. Faust for a while until I got pulled back. But I do think it would be probably Julia.
Okay. And so Nigel, you can see this sort of young woman, and Emma Elizabeth, she just looks at you and she says, "You left me there, Emma." Where'd you go?
I lost you. I couldn't find you. I tried. I tried so hard.
I was right there. No one came.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Someone told me it was just a dream. Is that true, Emma? Was it just a dream?
I don't know.
Was I just a lie?
No. No, you were not.
So as you're interacting with Julia, she sort of has this wispy appearance. Nigel, you can see Emma Elizabeth's form, sort of wispy smoke coming off of her as she is becoming somewhat insubstantial. She starts wavering, form sort of flickering. You can periodically see through her. You've seen someone being pulled back to the shadow before.
Do you want to go back?
And Emma, you can feel this tug pulling at you.
If I'm becoming vaguely insubstantial, Jesus fucking Christ. Can I touch Julia? Can I make physical contact?
You can. You reach out, and she looked ghostly, but when you reach out and clasp hold of her, she becomes more and more solid to you. To Nigel, Emma is fading faster.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk up to Julia. She's a little bit taller than me. I'm going to... Holy fuck. I'm going to take her face into both of my hands. I'm going to cock my head just a little bit to the side. I'm going to pull her for a kiss, and I'm going to make sure not to inhale. as I use my ephemera incantation, a hunger best not fed. Your kiss turns a creature to dust.
So you unleash the spell that was in your mind coiled there, and as your lips kiss, to the outside observer, Emma Elizabeth snaps back into like full physical form, and briefly this shadow does too, as it is pulled out of the gray and given physical form, and then disintegrates into a fine pile of dust on the ground.
I lost her again.
And the tablet is hanging there, humming.
Mr. Vandenberg, could you get that for me, please?
Sure. I'll use my void arm to grab it.
Your tentacle wraps. There's an electric spark as it hits off the multicolored embodiment of the suns themselves. But it is whole and substantial in your hands.
I do fucking hate this place. Let's go.
Let's go.
Lucky Alice. Capella.
Fuck.
I assume we did not witness that.
You did not. You
Okay.
Did not.
Great. So, I as a player need to collect myself for a moment.
I'm good for a break if we want to take one now.
Okay. We're about to. I don't know. Dan?
Yeah, we can take a brief break.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we'll be right back, and yeah, we'll be right back, folks. All right, everyone. Welcome back to As the Suns Burn. We will pick up where we left off, checking back in with Alice, Lucky, and Capella as they're looking for a book. So I'm assuming Capella's sort of come back. Lucky, Alice, and them are all clustered around this door. And so the no magical effect is still up, this spell pushing back magic. And the other side of the door, there is a set of stairs that rises and spirals out around, presumably the outside of this building, from what you can see.
Well, Alice, do you think you can will yourself to the book from here?
I can will myself. I can will a lot of us really quite far up that tower if we need.
So the tower has stairs winding around the outside of it, you said?
Well, so by on the inside, sorry, but I mean like around the outer wall. You found a door in this room, and there's a set of stairs that are, from what you can see, are going up in a big spiral shape. They presumably just hug the inside of the outside wall of the building.
Oh, Lucky, let's get our hustle on. Alice is gonna start paddle walking.
Oh my god,
What's
the fucking
what?
Jesus Christ.
And unless Capella keeps up, like after a few steps, you would
Good.
leave her zone of effect.
We're gonna get a wiggle on. So yeah. Pella walks along with Alice.
I'm not letting go of the linked arms.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so you're like
Bro.
dragging us on the
You
stairs.
daisy chained out. All right, so we need a rough estimate of how long this effect's gonna last. So Capella, I need a bunch of dice rolls.
Oh boy, howdy. Man, I wish I didn't drop. I should have picked up my D10. I dropped it. Well,
I'm gonna abstract it a little bit. Not each one of these is representing 5 seconds. There'll be like a longer span of time, but need a rough estimate of when you get a 0/10.
2 dice down, 4 dice down, 6 dice down, 8 dice down, 10 dice. Wait, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 dice down. 12. Do you want to keep going? Like 12 hours now.
Well, it wouldn't be hours because this is like this is every round this depletes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
You gotta get one eventually.
Nope.
0/10.
Nope. Oh, yeah, there we go.
All right. Okay, so I'm ruling about halfway up the tower. You're going up the stairs, and you so far haven't seen anything. You're just spiraling up and up and up. The spirals are getting tighter because the tower tapers as it rises. And then all of a sudden, the magical effect, the bubble around Capella winks out. And you still think you're on stairs, but everything goes dark again.
I want to use my action to refill shit.
Yep.
So that puts me back to 10.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Wings of Plenilune.
Okay.
And I'll watch as these softly luminescent moonlight-like wings sprout from my back. And they give off a light like a lantern. And I now have wings.
Okay.
And
so
I
it
also...
sort of
and then
beats
fly up.
back the darkness. Yeah, I mean, it's because it's stairs. So, but you're like hovering up ahead of them.
Okay, yeah. So it's not.
That's right. There's a roof. Yeah.
So I can't like fly up the middle. There's like a wall. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're like sandwiched between two walls, like spiraling up.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm now your lantern, and I just smile pleasantly, and then say, Let's go.
And as the original effect depleted, Alice, the dagger starts vibrating again, but it's also emitting a high-pitched hum.
My phone's on the fritz. Let's get this book.
Do you think it might be reacting to something here? What if we followed the dagger?
It's been on vibrate since she got to the red.
Let me just set this damn thing to do not disturb. Sure. I'll pull out the dagger, the legacy dagger.
I mean, Nigel's not here, so we don't have to worry about him.
It catches the almost moonlight that glints off of Capella's wings and magnifies it. And it is beating back the darkness. And so it's not the same effect. It doesn't look spooky and misty and like shadow. But you see stairs beneath your feet. So you at least now can see more.
Sorry about that.
But the stairs are writhing. They're moving subtly. And you can see yeah, fine for Capella. For everyone else, it's little cilia on the stairs, brushing against your feet.
I'm used to this place being gross, but this is exceptional.
If I could carry you all, I would. I'm sorry.
Nice of you. Unless if you move it, does it do anything?
I will just start swinging this thing around wildly.
Whoa! A little less vigorously. A little less vigorously.
Like a magnet, it's locked
Yeah.
on.
Can you?
Above
Yeah.
you.
I think it wants to go up.
It's pointing up.
Let's go up.
Up we go. And I will
Right.
begrudgingly go over the cilia that are touching my feeties.
All right. So Capella's flying. Alice and Lucky, the cilia cling to your feet a little bit, they want to restrain and pull you. If you have anything you're gonna attempt, they're trying to physically obstruct you. Let me know if you're gonna use any spells or magical abilities. Otherwise, I have you make a roll.
I'll give a quick look to Lucky. Say, this is disgusting. I don't like this. How do you feel? Did magic our way out of this, or?
I mean, do you have anything?
I could write us a different story, but I was wondering if you have anything that you want to give a shot.
Think about it for a second. While I look through my character sheet. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of my magic is mind-centric, and unless these guys have minds, I don't know.
Maybe they do. You don't know.
Maybe they do, but do I want to spend the sorcery to find out? I don't want to use that. No.
All right. So as they writhe against your feet, yes, Nox? Oh, okay. I thought that was you wanted to do something.
It is.
Yeah.
Can I try to counterspell these weird stairs?
You can. Your counterspell works against level 1 or 2 effects. I think you think this is outside of your range.
Okay, I don't do that then.
Yeah. Lucky and Alice, I need you to make withstand defense rolls, as you can
I'll-
feel like little pinpricks puncturing through
Okay.
from the writhing centipede-like
I'll write as a
things.
different tale if Lucky isn't gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay, I'm just gonna do weaving the tale, so we get an extra dice on our next action, and we get 4 minor events that will help us in her favor as Alice writes this tale of Lucky and her running up the tower safely, hopefully.
Okay. All right. All right. So you can have an extra dice on this roll.
Cool. What Benny can we spend?
Sorry, physicality.
I'll hold on to it. I got a 9 and a 6 for Alice.
Okay. Lucky.
Okay. Am I also spending physicality? Do I have an
that-
extra
That
Benny
is up to
from
you.
her story?
Extra dice.
Okay.
Extra die.
All right. Four and a 6.
Okay. All right. So you continue to make your way up. Alice, what's your story look like as you have these like minor events that help you getting up the tower?
It's really dramatic, and Alice like pulls out her sword, and she's like, and like still linked arms with Lucky, and the two of them are like hustling up, and she imagines it's very dramatic, and occasionally like the two of them will like save each other from like these Celia that try and like grab on. It's very theatrical and super cinematic.
All right. So you burst out onto the top of this tower on a platform in between these two horn-like projections that curve around you. That red lightning is lashing from the storm above, arcing from the lava tornado that is whirling below you now in the lake as these chaotic red energies swirl around you. Alice, the Sin Eater dagger, is practically screaming as you come out onto this space, shining brighter and brighter in your hand. And you see a small, almost like a lectern, in the middle of this platform on the top, in between these horn-like projections. And on it is a book, folded out like almost as if it's a painting. It's got these weird edges as if it's like a folded up painting into a book, and it's open part way. And standing over it is Valora, the sword teacher. She looks up. Oh, well, this is a bit of a pickle then, isn't it?
I think it's actually quite straightforward.
This is what you want, yes?
It's actually in our tale.
Well, here I thought I was an ally in your tale, but perhaps I am to be cast as a villain.
I think we all write our own stories.
Indeed. And I have written my tale in blood, from one end of the actuality to another.
I've written my tale in time and space, stronger than any blood than you can imagine.
Well, nonetheless, I need this book for a debt, and I'm afraid I can't let you take it.
I need this book. Alice doesn't remember why she needs this book, and
To pay
Damn
off the
it.
debt.
And I while Alice and the woman are having this discussion, can I interfere?
Please do.
Tell me what you're.
I will. Okay, first I'm gonna refresh my sorcery pool using my action, and I would like to use control mind.
Okay.
Assuming I succeed, I want her to give Alice the book back.
All right. So
Then, go ahead. We'll see if I succeed first.
that's right. All right. So it's a level 8, so you can spend 8 sorcery.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
So that's her thing.
And you're rolling 2 dice.
Okay, I would like to spend a sort of roll an extra dice.
Okay.
If I can.
Perfect.
And can I also apply gaslighting here?
Well, so you tell me. As in, how are you going to gaslight?
I would like to tell her
effect?
that her original deal was that we would get her in the tower, not that she could have what we were also after. We would get her in. We wouldn't let her necessarily take anything because we don't want to be complicit in theft.
And you're here legally, and she's just a interloper.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Sure.
Could Alice add in a helping die by using up one of her 4 favorable events, where
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Where Valora just like doesn't notice the magic happening, maybe?
At this point, I just want you all to roll because you're rolling so many dice that I hope a bunch of flux happens.
My God. Okay. So I just want to clarify that if this succeeds, I want her to give us the book. I want her to leave the vicinity and go a couple 100 miles away. Since they will do whatever I say for at least an hour. At least an hour, assuming I succeed.
Yeah, and it's from any distance, meaning like from across the actuality.
So, okay, I'm rolling 3 dice, right? Or is it 4? I spent a sortilege. What does Alice's thing give me?
That's an extra dice, so you're rolling 4.
I'm rolling 4 dice.
That's
I've
right.
got
You could
2.
potentially have grand flux here.
I could. I've got 2 from...
You get 1 from Bell, 1 from sortilege, and 1 from Alice. So that's
right. Sorry, I was talking about my venture in this case.
8 plus 2 from gaslighting.
Okay, so I have a plus 10.
Yeah, just tell me what's on your dice. Don't add them up.
All right, I will. All right. 9. 1. 9. 1.
Okay. So Valora just she had been about to unsheath her whip sword, and she just sort of resettles it, picks the book up off the lectern, comes over to Lucky, hands it to you, and says, "You're right. I'm sorry, Lucky. I totally misunderstood that whole situation. And it's totally my fault. Alice, I'm sorry. And I'm just going to fuck off."
Lucky, I owe you so much. Thank you.
You don't owe me anything.
She disappears back into the tower.
Excellent. I hope she goes at least 100 miles away.
Well, however far she gets in at least an hour, but we'll, whatever.
Yeah.
If we need to check your depletion, we'll check your depletion. But
yes,
for at least the next hour, she is planning on exiting.
Great. I'm just gonna give Alice a book. We leave.
Yes, we can.
So with that, as you have the book and Emma, Elizabeth, and Nigel have the tablet, the whole tower sort of shakes around you. And it has this almost like peristaltic motion, as if it is physically trying to expel you. This, for those of you on the top, 3 of you on the top, the stone beneath you sort of splits open as if the tower is going to swallow you.
I just fly above it.
I'm immediately going to grab Alice and pull her to the edge, like
And it's
away
like a
from
few hundred feet down.
that hole.
I've regained composure. I'm just going to look at Nigel and Orox. We're leaving. And just walk right on with my lantern. Just walk straight to the front door.
All right.
Yeah.
Also,
and you find the path.
Nigel, one more thing. I can assure you that there will never be a time in my entire life when I ever once return to the Grey. So if you see me going down that path again, I implore you to do whatever it is you can to prevent that from happening. If you would be so gracious.
I see.
No. I suppose that's about as best as I could expect from you. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, so you and the 2 of you feel yourself being sort of like, almost like the dark is like pushing you through like a tube until you're spat out the door. I mean, Capella just sort of flies. Lucky and Alice, I mean, you get to the edge, it's a couple hundred feet down.
No, the implication was not that we are going to jump. I just meant that we are getting away from the giant crater in the middle where it's splitting.
Yeah, so I mean, you're on the edge, and the edge is moving as it's trying to then shake you into itself.
Mm.
It's like the whole tower has become alive and is trying to eat you.
Alice?
Yes.
This is a problem.
I'm gonna boop Lucky and say, Lucky, can I send you to another story?
Not without you.
I've got away. I'm okay. I have an ephemera.
Okay.
Trust me, it's okay. Everything will be okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna boop Lucky into a story using conflicting tales and send Lucky a very far distance away near the ground safely.
Yep. Perfect. So
Okay.
Lucky sort of winks out and then appears back on the ground.
And then I'm going to use my rampage stone and just jump.
Yes!
All right, what's the rampage stone do again?
It's a red and brown stone. I transform into a gigantic cape-like monstrosity until my physicality pool is empty.
All right.
Any clothing or other things are destroyed, so didn't think that ahead, but whatever. I get 3 bene and 1 enhancement to my certs pool, and 1 scourge to all my qualia, and then I get 2 armor against all physical attacks and ignore penalties suffered from wounds. Yeah, I just want to become a giant hulking beast that can survive this jump.
Okay. So out of interest here, I want to see just how much this would do. I suggest those bene you put all in physicality.
Yes, that is the plan. It goes into all of my physical pools, actually.
Well, it goes into certes.
Yeah,
which
all
then
my certes get 3.
Okay. Each certes pool gets 3. Okay. All right. Because there is an amount of falling damage that I think is calculated for like every 5 feet that you fall. And I think it is 1 injury per 5 feet.
Oof.
Can Alice jump from staircase to staircase if she has the?
Well, there's no staircase. It's there is the gullet of the tower down, and there is the outside to the ground.
And we said this is every 5 feet.
I think I have to check here.
Okay.
It's in the section that's called damage from other things. Which I think I'll find here pretty quick. Damage and health. Damage from sources other than attacks. Yes, a fall typically inflicts 1 point of damage per 5 feet of the fall.
That's so brutal. Okay.
So if we say it's like 100 feet, that would be 20, which would be...
Yeah, I can't say like that.
3 injuries, 3 wounds, but each wound you can neglect when it... Oh no, you can only do it once.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just absorb it all when you hit.
Wait, Dan.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do at all at this point to get back sorcery?
You have an
No,
action.
you need
rest.
you need an
No,
hour.
I've used them all.
You still have 6 sorcery, don't you?
Yeah, but I need 8, right? Because that's how you know is the level of the spell.
That's true. Yep.
So
Wait. Question.
Yes.
Question. Okay. Alice is going to leap off this tower as an ape, right? What is
Well,
the...
she might not because she knows that it would kill her.
No, hang on. What is the level of this magical effect? I would know because we discussed these rocks.
Her incantation?
Yeah.
Alice, you tell me. I forget what level it is.
It's level 10.
Motherfucker. Okay. Sorry.
Can't counterspell it.
Sorry. No, I had a really good idea and I can't use it.
Okay.
I mean,
think
the
if
inside of the
Alice-
tower is just darkness.
wait. Alice, do you mind if I use a thing on you?
Please go right ahead.
Can I use? Hold on. Okay. Can I use my freedom comes from change ephemera?
Well, I mean, you absolutely can. Let's see. It only works on an object.
Oh fuck! God damn it!
Are we all watching this happen? Like even Nigel and Emma?
Oh, hold on.
Well, Alice doesn't necessarily jump yet.
Well, yeah, sure, but are we watching her hesitate at the top of the tower?
Sure.
If Alice knows that this is like not physically possible, even in a giant ape monstrosity form, she'll just refresh her sorcery pool and teleport down with Lucky.
Well, you fucking bitch.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. So you take the one action.
Yes.
I'm going to have you make a dodge action to see if you avoid getting swallowed by the tower.
All right, sure. This is physicality.
Movement.
Movement. Okay, I'll spend a movement bene. I'll just roll it. I rolled a 2 with a venture of 1.
All right, so you're swallowed by the tower.
What?
So the tower, like Alice is standing on the edge after booping Lucky, and then sort of topples backwards, and the tower slams back closed where it had split open at the top. And you find yourself being like moved peristaltically through this like rushing darkness. Oh, no, our people have moved all around. And so you find yourself like rushing through. I need you to make a resist defense action, please.
Okay. Did my teleport spell go off? I'm just wondering for my sorcery.
Well, I guess you could still cast it. What's the limitations on casting it now? Do you have to be able to see?
Not for myself. Myself, I just have to. For myself, it says I vanish and reappear up to a very long distance away safely.
Okay. All right. So I think you get swallowed, and then you pop out.
Okay. Okay.
So you're like rushing through darkness, and then all of a sudden you pop out.
I imagine myself
appear.
beside Lucky.
Yeah.
Because that's like the cornerstone thought of Alice's friendship.
That's right. That's right. All right. So then you wink out, and then you are all standing outside this tower.
Alice. That was a little reckless.
I had a serious lapse in judgment.
Uh-huh. But you're okay. So it's okay. All's well that ends well, right?
Exactly.
We have the book. We better get out of here before your sword teacher comes back. We have at least an hour.
Yeah.
All right. So all of you are now standing outside the tower.
All 5 of us.
All 5 of you.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't
Nigel,
sure.
Nigel, I do believe you're holding on to something of mine.
Oh, here you go.
I will receive the tablet from Nigel, and in exchange, I will pay him 600 crystal orbs.
Jesus. Okay, well, I had 10 on me, so we're good there.
And Orax is standing behind Nigel. Orax is hovering.
Appreciate your assistance in this matter with Vandenberg.
I would say any time, but I believe that was a once-in-a-lifetime situation that I just witnessed.
I sincerely hope for all of us involved that this is very much a once-in-a-lifetime situation.
Suppose I'll be going on my way then. Back to what I was doing before.
Nigel.
Yeah.
I don't know why I cut your arm off. I don't know why I've done a lot of the things that I've done. I can't remember my motivation for really all of it. And there may have been what some would call a power trip. And I realized that when we tried to get the book, I couldn't tell Valora why I did the things that I did.
I'm going to step up to Alice. You spent your entire life leaping from one thing to the next, not knowing what the hell was going on. Is that it?
I thought I did know. I don't know why I don't.
Maybe that's something you could learn, you know?
It has occurred to me I could make some improvements on myself.
You know what's funny about all this? I wanted you dead when you cut off my arm. I really did. I hated you. But then, your friend, who, God, is actually worse than you are, came into my life and made a deal. And I don't know what made me make the deal, but I did. I guess I have a penchant for self-destruction. But she made good on it. And I got this. And I've never felt more alive. I've never felt more beautiful or in command of myself. And it got me to thinking, you're a maker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you makers, you particularly, need to learn that there's beauty in unmaking. There's beauty in destruction. Because I couldn't have got this without losing something first. I'm going to pot a coin. Which one of us is going to change here, Alice? Which one of us is going to be unmade?
You think that what I did is worth being unmade?
There's no worth in. For people have no worth. Only our actions.
So is this a deal that you're proposing? What are the terms of the agreement?
No terms. There's no agreement. I was going to use this coin to go on a journey and learn more. But I think you need it more than I do.
I propose a trade then.
Yeah?
This coin seems valuable. In exchange for it, I will help out in some way that I can. I think you have something, a wound of sorts that I could heal. Your arm is very strange. I think your humanity is a wound and I could cut it away.
I don't think you're ready to learn more about yourself. I think this coin would help you. But you have to be willing to give up something for nothing. Either I'm either going to use it on you or use it on myself. That's it. That's the deal. One of us is going to learn more from it.
Sure. I'm not one, if a bit risky and a bit quick to make decisions.
Okay. There's beauty in unmaking, Alice. And I think you're going to learn that. And I will use the ephemera lysis and press it onto Alice's skin.
All right. What does this ephemera do?
It disintegrates the creature over 3 rounds.
What in the fuck?
All right. All right.
Alice agreed. She goes through with the deal.
Yep. It's a level 7 coin-like token. You touch this token to a living creature, and that creature is disintegrated over the next 3 rounds. They can still act during this time, and its color is red.
So Alice has 3 rounds to do something.
You have 3 rounds.
Learn, be unmade.
And of course, everyone else has 3 rounds as well.
Learn something from it. Go beyond. Come back better. Just like I did. I just want to do for you what you did for me.
Is it obvious what just happened?
Probably, because as he's saying that, remember, round's 5 seconds. 5 to 10-ish. So before your eyes, Alice is like,
No! Fucking
bits
chill,
of
man.
Alice
Like,
are flaking off.
I'm freaking out. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
It's 100%. This is absolutely a Avengers Endgame scenario of when people
I don't
get
feel
dusted.
so well.
I don't feel so well,
Oh.
Tony.
Okay.
Yes.
Quick okay.
So okay. Okay. Fuck.
The
you-
first thing Alice is gonna do is she's gonna activate her secret soul,
Uh-huh.
Oh Jesus.
turn into the blade.
All right. So this will tell everyone what your secret soul is when you activate it.
Well, if I'm disintegrated, I don't think it's gonna have much of an impact at that point.
It will, because as a ghost or as a resident of the Pale, you still have a secret soul.
That's true. Alice's ration doesn't think that in the time that
Just fine. Your secret soul has a death curse. That's kind of the thing you're supposed to do.
As this is going on, I would like to ask Alice if this is something that she wants.
Okay, to answer that, I've got a GM question.
Absolutely.
So Alice wants to understand what the Sin Eater does.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as she figures that out, she's wondering if her deal with Noah is complete. Insofar as like that knowledge exists, and she would be able to complete her end of the deal.
Yes.
She would. So she has. Okay, so my question is, does she have memories of Anna back if she's able to essentially unlock these secrets in this moment? That's her
Yes.
goal. Okay.
Yes.
She would look to Emma and say, all I care about is Anna. All of this has been for her. Find the stories of Alice and Anna. That's all I care about.
Okay. Yes, Capella.
Okay. Mr. Foreman,
Yeah.
can I use a thing on you?
I mean, what is it?
It's a magical thingamajigger. Are you cool with that, or yeah? Nay is okay. I just want to get permission before I do anything.
Sure.
Okay. Dan, can I use freedom comes from change on Nigel?
Isn't that the object one?
That works on only on objects.
Damn it! Ah! Can I turn Nigel to an object so I can use freedom comes from change?
Unfortunately not.
Damn it!
He's a conscious creature with a soul.
If Alice is going, I'm just gonna say, goodbye, love. Come back better. Make use of it.
Does Alice have one last action?
Absolutely.
Does she have her Vorpal sword?
Yes.
She screams at Nigel and says, "Off with your head," and swings the claymore at him.
Okay. All right. So, I think probably the dice do come in. I searched, try as I might, I could not find the specific rules for adjudicating player-on-player action, because everything is just player-driven.
Yeah.
So, Alice, you will make your attack. as the flat out whatever you could do. Nigel is going to get the defense. The dice is going to come into play. It won't just be comparing your ventures. And we'll see where it is. So like basically, Alice, you're going to build your venture. You're going to roll your dice. You're going to add that onto it. That's the challenge for Nigel.
Okay. I got this.
What does the secret soul do?
It gives me +3 to my attack and damage.
Yes. Assuming, of course, that Matthew consents. Because
sorry.
This is,
Nigel is just going to stand there.
Okay. I don't think it'll kill Nigel anyway.
So my venture is 3 from my secret soul.
Yep.
2 from my heavy close combat.
Yep.
1 from my accuracy.
Yep.
So a total of 6.
And then the level of the Vorpal blade as well.
Is level 2, so a venture of 8.
Yep.
Alice will use her sortilege to make Tails go the way she wants to, because that's
okay.
Her. And I think that's it. And now I roll?
Yes.
Oh, that's really good. I rolled an 8 and a 9.
Okay. So what we'll do is you'll take your... Because I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. We'll take your best roll, the 9.
Okay.
So 9 plus 8. So
I have no
challenge is a
beating any of
17.
that. I'm just standing there.
Yeah. Okay. So your sword does normally 6 damage.
Plus
right?
3 for
Plus
a total
3
of 9.
For 9, which would translate to 3 wounds. But you can spend, Nigel, as the damage comes in, you can spend physicality to negate a wound.
I don't.
Okay. So it's basically just letting it. So as Alice is flaking away, the Vorpal sword snicks through Nigel. As Nigel is struck down and falls in the red dust beside the disintegrated red ashes of Alice. The Sin Eater dagger falls, point down, sinking into the red sand. As the blood leaks out, soaking into the sand, it begins to be absorbed by the dagger. And the dagger begins to sing as it is remade. As it begins to unfold from a compact manifold into an ever-growing space of intersecting geometric lines of pure light that reflect and refract the red sun as it unfolds and a smoky darkness swirls inside as it begins to take on abstracted geometric humanoid shapes, 2 side by side, that unfold, and as they clear, you see briefly before you a majestic warrior angel, all light, shimmering around her form, wielding a large sword. And beside her, a warrior demon, a pair, bound into the dagger, now free. And that's where we're going to end for tonight. Oh boy. All right, folks.
Yes.
What is this game?
Oh
Yes.
my god.
Listen, I always have to leave my mark.
Well, the good thing is, Vizlite always have the choice on what happens to them when they die. So as we sort of, because the next session, of course, will not pick up immediately after this. It'll be some time will have passed as people go back to the actuality. But, and Alice and Nigel might have to think about this, but there is some time, usually about no less than a day, where both of you would reside in limbo, where you would be spirits, but you're totally unaware of the world. And none of your companions have any magic that is suited towards interacting with spirits or doing anything about it. So you'd be in limbo for at least a day, possibly a bit longer, up to about a week or so. But then you have the choice. You can choose to be a ghost. And there's some paths from that you can take. Because there are routes for you to learn either spells or secrets, or have people to do it for you to come back and reincorporate as a mortal being once again. Or you could choose to become something like a wraith and be undead. Or rather permanently dead, but, you know, walking around. Or you can choose to go to the Pale. Which is what happens to most people. Most people don't have the choice. Most people aren't Vizsla. And if you choose to go to the Pale, you go to the Pale and you become a resident there, one of the dead. And that's much harder to come back from. Not impossible, but possible. So both Alice and Nigel have some choices on what they want to do. As a ghost, there's some cool shit you can do. Both of you gain despair. Because when you die, you gain despair.
I'll say.
And there's some cool stuff you can do as a ghost, although you can't interact with the physical world as an incorporeal being. But also, like, you know, people swinging swords at you doesn't hurt either. All right, so let's go around and let everyone sign off. And then I think, although we've ran quite late, if all the players are agreeable, we'll come back for at least, I don't know, like 15 minutes or so to do our burning questions sub-only chat, wrap up our characters, and see. I think no one's fallen asleep, so I think everyone's good for at least to come back for a couple of minutes and hang out.
How could we sleep after that shit?
I know. God damn it. All right, so we'll quickly toot our own horns, anything we have, and I'll do reverse order and start with Matthew, the recently deceased.
Hey, that's me. I'm Matthew Foreman. I'm at Matthew W4 on Twitter. I was Nigel, your friendly, now dead librarian and future neighborhood ghost. Whatever. Check me out here. Check me out on Dice Priory. I don't give a shit. Next person.
Nox.
Hi, I'm Nox. I'm a member of the Creative Council here in Variant Roles. And I do shit. And I'm shell-shocked at what just happened. What the fuck? This has been a blast. Letters for more cool game stuff? I don't know. Bye.
Excellent. Alex.
Hey, everybody. I'm Alex. You can find me on Twitter at AxolotLCure. As far as other things I do, there's not many of them aside from this game for the current moment, which, yeah, I think that's about it, honestly.
All right. Alice. Or, sorry, Corey.
Hey, I'm Alice. My name is Corey Hickson, Twitter on the same spot. Tomorrow we will probably be doing our premiere for Fight for What You Believe. We just have to double check something. It's going to be hopefully super cool. And that's me.
All right. And Sam.
I'm Samantha Darcy. I'm 60th Victor on Twitter. And I don't think I have anything going on except this game. But if this is your first time viewing it tonight, which I think at least a couple of you was, I hope that we drew you in. Because this show was amazing, and I could play it forever. So please stick around Variant Roles and check out the other content. And if you really like it, throw us a subscribe.
All right, excellent. I'm Dan. I live here. Invisible Sun is pretty much my life, and you'll find me here doing this in Cypher System. Stick around. We got lots of stuff. We're gonna make a brief cutout, and we'll be back very momentarily for Burning Questions, which is our roundtable post-game discussion, where we will hang out. It is a subscriber-only chat, or for mods. Mods are included. So if you're a moderator on our channel or a subscriber, you can hang out, ask us questions. We'll touch base on characters and where people have advanced character arcs and all that sort of stuff. And we'll answer questions and get real and drink the tea with you in chat. So if you're not currently a subscriber and you got Twitch Prime, throw this way, because you're going to want to come back and dish the juice with us. So we will be back momentarily. We might need to, refresh drinks and that sort of thing. So about 5 minutes or so, and we will be back, folks. So stick around.